Just to get started, it's a great time of year right now. Just finishing up training camp, first day of school actually today. So the schedule changes for our players. Just overall, I just want to say I'm very pleased with this training camp. This training camp's really been more about our players establishing our way of doing things, stressing the daily attention to detail and focus that we ask as a staff, and then talking about things that are important. We are moving into a different transition of camp where we're moving into an in-season schedule now. And so that's a new learning experience for our players as well. But really excited. We hit a lot in camp, more than I have in years past. We had a lot of live scrimmage snaps. Tried to pour as many reps into this football team as we could, and the players have responded really well. I mean, we're relatively healthy, and I think much more than this team's been healthy in the past at this time. And we're ready to move into this in-week schedule, in-school schedule that will start preparing us for the season.
I know you've moved out of camp schedule, but are you fully vested in Michigan prep right now, or is there still time?
We're starting to transition into Michigan this week, yes. That's typically how we've always done it. We like to transition the players into an in-season schedule and get them used to that, and then repeat that into game week. So we started on Michigan this week, yep.
Was it easy to get, I know you had 15 spring practices and then fall camp, to kind of get your systems in place? Are you really happy with where your team is in terms of their knowledge of the systems and what they're supposed to do with them?
Yeah, I mean, when you take a program over, you're never really happy. I mean, you're never satisfied with where you are, but you try to push the team as far as it can go. We try to really force feed them situations, and we're giving them experiences they can learn from. I don't think you're ever pleased, with where they're at. You're always pushing them to be more advanced than they are. But I do have to say this: we've probably poured as many situations into this team as we've had any team, and at this point, they've really experienced quite a bit, much further ahead of other teams that we've had. And so I think that's a good thing, and I really think this team is in good shape. We're going to find out when we start playing, but from where we were in the spring to this point, we've had very, very little issues injury-wise. We've had a lot of contact, and this team is running well, and we poured a lot of repetitions in them, so we're stretching their game shape and trying to get them ready for the opener.
Are there situations you haven't hit on yet that you'll wait and do at the mock game on Saturday, or have you pretty much covered everything?
Yeah, there's always you never quite hit everything. But in our game week schedule, we'll hit certain end-of-game situations and routine situations that we'll cover every week. And then we'll do those in the mock game as well. One of the things we do in the mock game is we practice our warm-up and our game day loosening up session. And, we're going to kick off right at game time. That's going to happen at Michigan. So we'll practice. We're a morning team anyway, so we're used to, getting our bodies going at that time. And so we'll kick off our mock game this Saturday. It'll be 12 o'clock Michigan time, 10 o'clock Mountain.
Who's really stood out to you the last couple of weeks?
We've had several players that have done a really good job. I just like the effort that our kids are practicing with. We've really try to emphasize that. I was raised in a program where we coached effort. I mean, when I played at Iowa for Coach Fry, and that's been kind of something that we've really taken a lot of pride in over the years, everywhere we've coached at. we want to coach the type of effort that it takes to win games consistently. We're really stressing that in defense and offense and special teams. I really been impressed with our starters and their effort on special teams. You know, typically our starters, we ask them to play on at least 2 special teams. It's a little bit different than they've been asked to do here before. But we want to play our best players on special teams, and our kids have taken that to heart, and it's really been a prideful thing for them. You know, we've had a lot of guys that have stood out. You know, I think Ty McCullough has really stood out in the last week, just as a guy that is practicing at a high level. Torrey Horton has done a good job. Chiggy's done an amazing job defensively. Taiwan Francis has worked extremely hard. Just really impressed with the way that those guys go about their business. And, you know, we want an unselfish program. We want a program that values hard work. And, you know, our players are starting to emulate that. So I'm really been excited about those players.
How is maybe your feeling of the vibe around campus and community change? You know, it's been 8 months since you were hired, and how is maybe your perspective on, you know, the feeling around the program and just the potential you guys have? Has that changed at all in Las Vegas?
You know, I just think our atmosphere is amazing. You know, one of the things we start off camp was just really thanking all the people that work in our building, you know, our custodians, the cafeteria staff, you know, our equipment staff, all our training staff, all the people that allow us to do what we do. We're so appreciative of them. You know, I'm surprised every week when I meet people from the community that are so excited about the season. You know, we had a pep rally with our freshmen this past weekend, and that was outstanding. Just the energy, the participation, the band, the cheerleaders, the other sports, really great atmosphere. And so we're excited, you know, when we meet people and they say they're going to be in Ann Arbor and they're coming to the games and they can't wait to see the games this fall. You know, that makes us want to work that much harder and do a great job for our fans.
You guys always talk to the coaching staff, the next man out mentality. Unfortunately, you got COVID early last weekend. Is that a reminder to your players that's still true and it's still something they have to be diligent about?
Yeah, we're really not done with that pandemic yet, you know, and as I was fortunate, I'd never gotten it for 2 years, and it's something that my family has to really look closely at because my wife has a lung disease, but we both got through it fine. You know, I'm a big perspective person, and you know, we spent so much time preparing for training camp. Most of my staff and I have been together. Everybody knew what to do, and with all this technology, I mean, I was in every meeting. I script all the practices, so I knew what plays were coming up. Watched film with the offensive staff, and then I was in all the team meetings to see that interaction with our players. And so, and then they even zoomed me in like the Wizard of Oz on the screen so I could talk to everybody. But it also gives you a perspective. I think it's really good to step away and watch your people work. And even in practice, you know, I'm communicating with the quarterbacks and all that, but I stay away from everybody because I want to see the guys coach. I want to see the players interact. And I think it's important to get that perspective. And, you know, with COVID, we've learned a lot about technology. And, you know, and then a year or so ago, my father passed away. I was gone all week. And then I came back Friday, called the game, and we beat Wyoming. And just everybody knew what to do. I got a great staff. They're very experienced, and I'm very lucky to have them. And so we really didn't miss a beat this last week. We stayed on schedule. We got our scrimmage in, and I was really pleased with the results.
Where is Clay at this point with camp, and you know how have you seen him grow, you know, throughout the time that he's been here in the program, and kind of how have your expectations been maybe changed when you guys decided to, you know, bring him with
Yeah, I mean, Clay is a guy that's mature beyond his years. Um, just a guy that really loves ball. You talk about the gym rat and the guy that loves hanging around, asking questions, watching tape. You know, he's had a maturation process and it's been accelerated. He was a backup at Nevada for a year behind Carson Strong, who was a two-time Offensive Player of the Year. He saw how Carson worked, how he studied, how he was in meetings, how he asked questions. And it's so important for quarterbacks to ask why, to come to a meeting with your notepad and what if this happens? What if they play this defense, coach? And Clay's really done a good job of that. Um, I tell the young quarterbacks all the time, the offense will trust you when you stop making major mistakes when you're in there. And Clay's done an amazing job of that, just focusing on his job and doing what he needs to do. And he's improved tremendously from the spring to the summer and now through training camp. He's still a young guy. We're kind of at the point as a team where we got to start playing games. We have to start playing games to learn from game situations and to really improve. And it really doesn't matter who we play. We just need to play games. And so that's going to be interesting as we start to do that. But I'm excited for Clay. I really think he's got an opportunity to really start this year off and have an excellent year. He's going to have some growing pains, as all young quarterbacks do, but we're going to have to support him and help him through that. Sunday morning I came in early and after Mass, and I walked past our quarterback coach's office, and Clay's in there watching film Sunday morning, the only guy in the building, and so that's the kind of kid he is, and we give our quarterbacks a lot of responsibility, and so he's taken that and he's making great progress.
Do you feel like the veteran weapons that are around him, there's a lot of skilled guys, especially in the wide receiver room, that can contribute right away, but is that kind of added to his confidence in camp, just knowing he has a lot of guys that he can really spread the ball around to, get the ball to?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things as a team we've been trying to accelerate. And by the way we've practiced, we've been a lot of good on good. We've done a lot of repetitions in team. We've tried to split up and give the ones and twos equal reps. Is developing playmakers takes time. It takes time and repetition, and it takes confidence in one another, and that comes from playing together. And being in a lot of different situations. And, a lot of times I look at a guy and say, hey, remember when we did this that time back in, and that comes from repetitions. And, I saw it when I was in pro ball. I mean, I was with the Colts for 4 years with Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. And, every special teams period, Peyton would grab Marvin and run different routes with him. And that repetition, it breeds familiarity and confidence. And one of my favorite pictures I had of those two guys was of Peyton letting the ball go, and you could see Marvin in the foreground, and he's got his back turned. He hasn't even made a break yet, but he knew where he was going to be because they'd done it so many times together. And that's what happens when you play together that much. We throw the ball all summer. Our kids throw on their own. They learn each other's mannerisms, and that's where they really learn to play together. And so, our kids have just had one spring and one summer to do that. And as we get more time, they're going to be more comfortable. But, and that's the part that I say, you're never satisfied with where you are. We got a lot of work to do. But at this point, we're going to have to find that out in games. And so we're excited to get started with that.
You got hired in December. You got some position rooms that either didn't have a lot of numbers or maybe didn't have a personnel tight end, corner, offensive line. How are you feeling now heading into the season about some of those rooms
Yeah, I think we've added players to all of those rooms. We certainly have a lot of young talent at receiver. I really like the young players that we brought in. I think they all have potential to be good players. Justice Ross Simmons, Lewis Brown, Mekhi Fox. I mean, those are all good players. Our young tight end, Jordan Williams, is a talented guy. I like what we've done in the defensive backfield. Bringing in a guy like Greg Leday and Chiggy. Those guys give us a chance to line up back there. Angel King, and be a competitive secondary. You really have to be strong in the back end. It's your last line of defense, and can't give up big plays. And, Coach Banks does a great job teaching those guys. Our offensive line, I mean, the guys that we brought in give us a chance. Dante Keys, Dante Vivens, all those guys, and, Jacob Gardner, Gray Davis. Those guys have all played college football. They've been good players. They just have never played together. And so, and that's part of, the time clock that we're working on, getting as many reps and the continuity that those guys get to play together. We've microwaved it the best we can at this point, and it's that time of year. September's coming quick, and it's time to start playing. And those guys are going to start learning a lot when they go out in between those white lines together and start playing with live bullets. You start finding out about each other, and it's time for us to go do that. So we're excited about it, but we do have pieces that give us a chance to have a foundation of a competitive football team.
How would you evaluate the job Freddie's done so far? Obviously, bringing him in, that guy we haven't worked with a lot, but have pedigree from Montana State, the success as a young coordinator. How would you kind of assess what he's done so far?
I've been really pleased. Freddie, and we assembled a defensive staff that had continuity as far as understanding what we do defensively, and that was a really part of our process. And I think the chemistry of our defensive staff and the fact that they're on the same page has really helped our kids understand what we're trying to do defensively. And so Freddie's done a great job. He's a very detailed guy. He's very competitive, and he's very demanding of our guys and their effort. And it's tough. Defense is tough. I mean, defense is about effort, and it's about you can't ever be comfortable as a defensive player, and you got to play with great energy and effort, and you got to be demanding all the time. And I don't know if I could coach defense anymore because of the attitude you'd have to have all the time to be in it. But Freddie does a great job. Our kids have responded. And I think the kids that we've added in recruiting help us become more of a competitive defense. And, we have pretty good depth in the D-line. We're going to have to play a lot of people there. I think we've kind of fortified our back end a little bit with some of the additions that we brought in. And now it's just about playing together and holding each other to that high standard.
Justin, you got anything?
Yeah, just real quick. Between now and the opener, do you try and limit contact at all, or do you kind of keep things the same this week?
No, we'll keep our normal schedule. Typically we go full pads on Tuesday and half pack on Wednesday, and there'll be a lot of thudding and banging going on with that. We'll have our normal Thursday and Friday schedule, which is a little bit less, more mental. And then Saturday we'll do a mock game, but we'll be in half pack. But we won't scrimmage Saturday. So we've got our two big scrimmages in. We got plenty of hitting in, and then we'll get into our weekly schedule where we bang on Tuesday and Wednesday and then try to peak for the weekend. So we'll stay in that routine. And we're pretty fresh right now coming out of camp. One of my things is I don't want I don't want to come out of camp with dead legs. You know, I think it's typical to do that. But we should start getting pretty fresh here as we move into next week.
And then just the other thing I wanted to ask you is, you know, the Big House, obviously a unique atmosphere, largest crowd in the entire country. Do you change anything as far as preparation goes? Can you even, you know, simulate something like that?
No, you know, we as we move closer to game time, we'll do some things with crowd noise and that. But, you know, to be honest, I'm more concerned about our football team than I am Michigan or their fans or their stadium. We want to put our focus into our kids. We got a bunch of guys that are learning to play together, and you know, that's what I'm trying to get them to focus on as well, is focus on what they can control and what they do. And we'll talk about the atmosphere. It's certainly different. It's a fun place to play. I've played there before, and I think our kids will be really excited about playing in it.
Thanks, Jay.
Yes, sir. Good. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jake. Hey, it's me, so I'm gonna put you on my phone. It's gonna automate some phone calls. I think we turned off this one. Exit camp and start going into kind of game week mode?
I mean, you know, camp's always a grind. You know, it's getting a lot of work in, you know, doing that every day. So it's a bit of relief, but, you know, you immediately start to lock in and know, like, you know, you did camp to transition to get to the season. So everybody's back locked in, ready to go and getting ready for Michigan.
Is it like that for you two, Devin? I mean, I know you practice with purpose during camp, but now you have an opponent that you kind of to start focusing on. Does that help?
Yes, sir, it does. I want to say during camp, it's like you practicing against each other. You're not necessarily practicing for the opponent, but yeah, once camp ends, like Agent said, it's time of relief. You're still practicing with a purpose. It's just a purpose to now you have an opponent. You're learning their schemes, learning the different things that they do. A lot of film, a lot of time put into that, and just basically, you just gotta be able to manage your time and be able to get things done efficiently.
Adrian, how do you feel like the offense, like where do you guys feel like you are at this point in camp, and how much do you feel like you guys have progressed, throughout these first weeks?
I feel like we've progressed tremendously. At the beginning, you're setting in, you're still doing installs and things like that. And of course, we came in the spring, we really got everything introduced to everybody that was new. But then, when you come into the fall, you have most of the players, who are still in the spring. So now they're just, implementing already what they had learned. We had gone back and gone through our installs and did everything, cleaning everything up, getting it polished. And I think that's, put the offense in a great position going into this game week, where now we can, kind of settle down and know what we want to do, moving forward against Michigan, so we can kind of focus on those things and really lock in.
How is Clay kind of maybe taking a step forward as a leader? Obviously, he's a young guy, but still, he's going to be tasked with, leading this offense going forward. I mean, how have you seen him kind of mature, off the field as kind of in, the locker room?
Clay, like you said, he's a young guy, but he's somebody that's incredibly mature. Somebody that takes extra time to, put in extra work. He wants to be at his best. He doesn't want to make mistakes. And I think that that's something that people see. And, we really rally around him, and he's always ready to go. He's always ready to practice, getting us ready to go as well. So, having him, at this stage, I feel like, he's going to be a great leader moving forward.
And Devin, for you, I mean, just how has the defense kind of responded to, Coach Banks' his coaching style and philosophy, and just kind of how has that adjustment been, kind of learning into defense?
I feel like everybody is, I'm sorry, could you ask that one more time?
Oh,
Yeah.
How have you guys responded to maybe learning a new defense and kind of, what is Coach Banks' coaching style like, and how have you guys responded to that?
I think we've adjusted pretty well. Just bringing the younger guys along that just got here, getting them to understand their place in the defense, or the different places in the defense, the different fits and everything, knowing just where each guy is going to be, so you know how to attack just like your assignment during the play. And I feel like Coach Banks is very aggressive. He's chill sometimes, but when it's time to play, it's time to play. When it's time for him to coach, he's going to coach you hard to get the things done. But I feel like everything is moving in the right direction. Everybody's coming along great. It's just got to execute.
I think you guys have been, for those of you that return, 59 new players, you're more new than there is back. What has you guys excited about everything that's changed? What have you most excited about the season ahead?
I mean, for me, it's just like, another opportunity to go out and play football. Like you said, a lot of new players change, and you don't know week from week, how things could go. So, just the opportunity to go out and play and just even practice, it's really, for me, I'm just grateful for everything that I can get from it. So I feel like, it being a new season, having all this, great energy, new staff, new players, I think it just all, everything feels great, honestly. And I love the energy that we have, and it's an exciting time.
Yeah, basically everybody's getting along well, building that bond, the chemistry throughout the team, and just a great time. Had a great fall camp. I felt like everybody was moving around fast, learning the plays. Everybody was excited to come to practice every day, and just the intensity has been high, and everybody's out there having fun.
So is it the hardest thing for you guys in camp is learning all of your new teammates, learning their names?
Probably, yes, sir.
It's not, it's something we're definitely tasked to do, but it's great, meeting new people, talking to them, and, just learning everybody's story. Everybody's great around here. Everybody likes everybody, and we like to, think we could talk to anybody on the team, just about anything. So.
You guys have been here both of you guys have been here for a while, and obviously you've been through kind of the ups and downs of the program. Do you get the sense, when you're out in the community, maybe on campus, just talking with, students, just fans in general, that there's a different vibe and excitement around the program, or just
Yeah, I think you could definitely feel it, and you can sense the vibe. Well, the community's already, it's a friendly community here, nice people, and I feel like when we're out in the community, you wear your CSU or just gear out in public, you get a bunch of people come up to you, ask you how the season's going to be, and just how do I put this? Just I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how to put the words together, but yeah, just everybody's happy for this year, and they're very excited for what's to come, I would say.
It's a small game on Saturday. What do you all want to get out of that the most? What do you need to get out of that?
I mean, to be honest with you, like we haven't went over the full like how everything with that is gonna go. But from what I heard, it's really just about being clean with procedures, knowing, you know, this is what we do pregame, this is when we come out, this is what we do for warm-ups, and then, you know, going out, we're going to go out, execute plays both on offense and defense. So, you know, getting all that stuff down for game day, so when we go, you know, out the next Saturday, we'll have that clean.
Are you guys expecting a similar kind of atmosphere at Michigan to what you guys had at Iowa last year? Obviously, two very big Big Ten stadiums. Are you guys kind of expecting something similar atmosphere-wise?
Yes, sir. It's a big game in a big house. I think it would be fun. Those atmospheres are great. That's what you live for as a football player, I feel like. And just being able to experience Power 5 football or Power 5 atmospheres and stuff, it's a different feeling once you're out there. And I feel like that just really gets you going and want to play even harder.
Justin, do you have anything for these guys?
Yeah, just real quick, you guys have obviously been a part of multiple staffs. You've experienced different styles of training camp. With the way that Norvell did it, splitting the 1s and 3s, 2s and 4s, was there a noticeable difference with, you know, how some of the young guys maybe progressed just from the fact that they were getting a lot more reps than they might have in the past? And do you guys feel any different than you might have, you know, after camp in the past?
Yeah, you know, I definitely feel that, you know, when you split up like that, you know, especially when you come in as a young guy, one of the hardest things to do and adjust to is learning a playbook and learning a different offense, because most of these guys have been, you know, in high school for 4 years in the same place and they get used to the same plays. So being able like to come in and like really get those reps and like get not only just mental board stuff, but go out there and implement and have to run it over and over and over again, I think it just makes the progression that much faster. And, you know, that even counts for us, you know, older guys, as, you know, with the new staff that came in, it was a lot easier for us to learn because we had, you know, we were able to get that many reps and we were able to get more opportunities to go out there and implement what we learned.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.